Our fluid mechanics project is about non-Newtonian fluids by Johnny Kirkpatrick, Mike Hemmer, and Riley Pate. First, what is a fluid? A fluid is any substance that deforms continuously when acted on by shearing stresses of any magnitude. Well, what are some types of fluids? One type of fluid is a Newtonian fluid. A Newtonian fluid is a fluid that has linear variation of shearing stress with rate of shearing strain. Another type of fluid is a non-Newtonian fluid. A non-Newtonian fluid is a fluid that has linear variation of shearing stress with rate of shearing strain.
There are different variations of fluids in our everyday lives. Water is a normal Newtonian fluid. On the other hand, we see non-Newtonian fluids as well. Ketchup is a shear thinning fluid, where it has a high viscosity normally, but as shear strain increases, viscosity decreases. Mustard is a Bingham plastic, which behaves like a rigid body at low stresses, but flows like a viscous fluid at higher stresses. There is also another type of non-Newtonian fluid called a shear thickening fluid, whose viscosity increases with shear strain. This can be seen with a mixture of cornstarch and water.
When cornstarch is mixed with water, the suspension forms a shear thickening fluid. Running your hands through the fluid is a unique experience. When moving your hands slowly, it behaves more similarly to a normal fluid. However, if you apply a lot of force, especially very quickly, the viscosity rapidly increases, even to the point of it acting as a solid. Another easily accessible shear thickening fluid is silly putty. When force is applied to the putty slowly, it behaves as a viscous fluid, allowing it to be stretched. However, when a lot of force is applied very quickly, similar to the cornstarch and water mix, the viscosity increases so much it acts like a solid and the putty will break in half. This is further exemplified in the putty when you form it into a ball. When stress is sudden, the viscosity is so high it acts like a solid and bounces. However, when the ball is left to sit out over time, it behaves like a very viscous fluid and will begin to flow.
There's been a considerable amount of research done surrounding shear thickening non-Newtonian fluids. A couple examples are in speed bumps. If a car tries to go over fast over the bump, they will experience the bump. But if they go over slow, they will not experience it. Another innovation is body armor. When a projectile hits a shear thickening fluid fast, they will experience a solid surface and dissipate the energy. Whereas if something's hitting it slow, no one's gonna feel anything and it's probably not gonna hurt. Finally, shear thickening fluids can be used in batteries as they are just suspensions of particles in another fluid, and those particles can be charged.
In conclusion, we discussed 4 different types of fluids today. Newtonian fluids, which is what you'd think of when you think of a typical fluid, such as water. We also discussed non-Newtonian fluids. They are shear thinning fluids, like ketchup, which decrease in viscosity as shear stress is applied. We also discussed Bingham plastics, like mustard, which behave like a rigid body until enough force is applied, then they behave as a viscous fluid. We also went over shear thickening fluids, like the cornstarch water suspension and silly putty. These behave similar to normal fluids until their viscosity increases with the increase in rate of shear strain. The viscosity can increase so much, these fluids can even appear to act as solids. I hope you all enjoyed this fun with fluids.